And so what? So, from over here, I can see why you're not wearing pants.
Oh, welcome back to Magic Crystal Tech Support. I'm Josh, and I'm trying to stop farting. I couldn't do it.
Yes.
I couldn't do it. I'm trying to stop.
But you couldn't.
I'm trying to stop farting. There we go.
Yeah, just to meet guys.
Everybody's here.
And
More or less.
we got Caleb, Dale, Jeremy, Ian, and Devin. They're all here.
And Maple.
Yes.
The gang is all here.
She's the reason I can't sit on the couch right now.
Now we're on camera. So me and Caleb finally beat Final Fantasy X, and
Oh
it
my
took
God.
us not a week of playing, but a week of playing every day for an hour of trying to beat. Everyone's beaten Final Fantasy X, yes?
Yeah, I actually have not.
Do you care?
No, go ahead. I know how the game ends, and I've made it to the fucking final boss. I just never beat it.
We made it to fucking Jet,
Oh my God.
and we played for like an hour and kept on getting our ass handed to us, and we were just getting sick and tired of the fucking trek up to him and all this bullshit.
So, would you say Jet was a cold hard bitch?
And Caleb got so fed up with it that on his last try, he's like, fuck, we have a shit ton of stamina tonics, which doubles your party's MP.
Yeah.
HP.
So he's like, I'm taking a fucking shower. Devin, here's your controller. Because it's also very heavily RNG. That boss fight is literally just the draw half the time. So, it took me one try to beat Jet, which I'm pretty sure is either me, Caleb, really happy we got past it, or really pissed off because of my fucking luck score.
No, I'm just glad I remember because I lost to him and then I went, wait a minute, because I was looking through. I knew I was gonna lose, but I was looking through all of the things Riku could use, and I was like, I got down to the bottom of the list and I was like, we have stamina tonics, which double everybody's HP, which I wasn't using at all. I was like, why the hell haven't I been using these things?
The only thing Riku could use is a folding chair to the face.
So, on my first try,
Yeah, critical hit.
I had Orin Waka, who was our hard hitter, because we just made him a fuck you character. Which is hilarious, because my first playthrough as a 10-year-old, I didn't go that route, and I always thought Waka was shit. So to have Waka be part of my main party, our playthrough, was fucking hilarious. To have Waka throw this fucking just plastic ball with spikes into people's faces and they just die. And the greatest thing is, when we first started playing 10, we got really lucky and got a ball with Stone
Touch.
The weaker one. Stone Touch.
Stone Touch is the big one. Stone Strike's the big one.
Okay. Yeah, we got with Stone Touch. And I don't know if it was my luck score or what, but every time Waka hit fuckers, they would just instantly stone as long as they weren't boss. The only people who could survive Waka were bosses. So we got a variable ball, put Stone Strike on it, and a bunch of, we put counter, invaded counter and magic counter, and I think it was like...
Ow, fucking
HP
tiger.
Automed. And we basically went, alright, Waka, that's not your celestial weapon. We're not playing Blitzball. Get your celestial weapon. This is your celestial weapon now. And he fucking just lit it up.
We basically made weapons for everybody that were better for like our
Basically,
way,
like
how we were
critical
playing
hit
them
back on
than
it.
their celestial weapons were.
And we just went and saw Waka literally just walk through the rest of the game just with his big old dick just like slapping across everyone's face.
It was great.
It was glorious.
What are we doing in this one again? It's been so long.
It's been a while thanks to weather and illness. We just haven't been meeting up. But we're going to be returning here to the Earth Temple here. I had to look at my inventory.
The vampires are, right?
We killed the vampire.
Yeah.
This is the dark elf, right?
No, we already dealt with the dark
Did we
elf.
already kill
This is a
Malekith?
super boss that I spoiled.
Yes.
Oh wait, this is Sarda's cave. We need to return back to the...
This
Yes.
is
So
Sarda.
yeah, we
this
have
is
to get
Sarda-
behind the altar thing.
This is
Yes.
Sarda a cave, I guess.
Anyway, yeah, that's what we're doing. I messed up. But we got the rod from Sarda, and the rod will take to the this room behind where we killed the vampire in the Earth Temple,
Okay.
and the rod will open up the secret door to the actual Earth Fiend that we have to kill to revive the.
He's like a zombie, isn't he?
He's a lich.
Lich.
Okay. So we need a lot of. Dale will be the one doing a lot of damage to him, right? Does Dale have holy? Is this holy in this?
It's called harm.
It's called harm, but
Okay.
yeah, it does the hurt undead spell. Yes.
By the way, in our Final Fantasy X, only Riku has holy.
Yeah. We took everybody out of their main tree. I think
Just
too
do
early.
it.
I think that's why a lot of things were really hard because everybody was
Probably.
taken out of their main tree way too early.
Except for Lulu.
Except Lulu. Lulu was the only one who went fully down her thing, and Waka.
Yeah, Waka went through his entire tree.
I think that's why they were the only ones that were fucking tough. To be honest with you, and we took everybody out of their tree too early.
Yeah, pretty much that'd be why.
Yeah.
Well, that and you
Riku and Yuna were good at white mages. We made them both
Yeah.
white mages. They were fantastic at
You gotta do
Riku was
something.
kind of a red mage. She had some
You
black
gotta do
magic, too.
something with Riku because she sucks.
We made her
Stupid
white mage.
fucking
She does
Riku.
suck for just like
We literally had Riku
Just
and
her
Yuna
own
just
thing.
playing each other's fucking sphere.
You know, for a game that got its origins in Dungeons and Dragons, why can't it be more like D&D and make thieves overpowered?
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
X2 makes thieves better.
Okay. In Final Fantasy X, with Riku, if you have the chart,
Oh, for the mixing.
the humongous ass chart
which we had.
for the mixing, Riku can be horribly broken.
Riku's overdrive is the best overdrive. That's why she's so kind of useless, plainly.
Yeah.
Basically.
But I don't have a fucking chart and I don't have time for that shit. And I do not play video games with guides because that is cheating.
Figured out that Kimari's overdrive is kind of useless.
And it
Blue magic.
sucks. It just, none of the
Blue magic sucks when
A
it's
lot of
only
it's
available
cool,
during a
it's
limit
just-
break.
Well, we
And-
never got Nova.
None of the...
We never got Nova. Yeah.
Very, very few of his blue magic abilities are worth a shit.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it as a limit break. If it were worth it as something that he could
Just the way the
learn
magic
and
thing,
just
yeah.
do
Like
more
all the other
often,
blue mages.
What's
more
that?
often than limit break. I think Questus in 8 did the same thing.
We didn't fucking play 8 because we don't like the fucking junction ability.
Oh my gosh, it is such a pain in the
We were.
ass.
We looked at.
I
that
didn't
and-
mind the junction thing. I just didn't like how
Grindy.
our party
No.
changed so often that you had to completely redo the whole junction thing over and over and over again. I was like, why can't I just set it to be this and it just fucking stay that?
I think you have the ability to like take a character's junction wholesale and move it, but
Yeah.
but the problem with the
so
whole
annoying.
the problem with the whole junction thing, it's an issue I had with Final Fantasy VII that okay, you're giving me a roster of like 9 characters, but I can pretty much slot whatever I want to make them anything.
Yeah.
Why do I need 9 characters if I can? But at least like Tifa was a little faster than Cloud, and you know
Dead
Aerith had a
Man's
little stronger map. There is you have like 9 character, 12 character, however many characters in Final Fantasy VIII, and there is 0 difference between them outside of their junctions, except for their limit breaks, I guess. But like,
Their stats are different.
are there
there's
are there
that.
core stats different?
Yeah,
A
Renova
little.
has the strongest. Is the strongest one actually. She's the best character.
Just the highest strength for some reason.
But like, I played the game.
Highest every stat for some reason.
But like, I don't feel like any of the characters have any of their own identity.
They don't,
It might be
really.
story-wise because she is a sorceress.
That is valid.
But like,
Yeah.
the whole game, I'm like, why does it?
The junction
what does it
system does
matter?
render- the junction system renders core stats immaterial.
Yeah.
That
Because
is somebody who likes games with like class change abilities like 10-2 and Bravely Default. Fine. Give me 4 characters and let me do with these 4 characters what I want. Don't give me 9 characters and force me to play this game with 9 characters.
I think 10 is pretty good with 9 characters. 'Cause
They each
technically-
have their identity though.
and you,
they each have
well,
their own
you can also
specialty.
change their identity though.
Yeah.
But I
They
don't
can,
know
but
what
if you,
that
but
means.
like, even then, Waka no matter what you do, is just the best against flying foes. It doesn't matter what you slot him into.
We made him a fucking beast.
Titus is the best against high agility foes. It doesn't matter what you do with the chain.
Well, that's one of the things.
That I actually can argue with you, because since we fucked up and took him out of his tree too early, Waka never missed and hit all the high agility.
Waka
foes.
was the one that we made Waka the high agility guy.
But I mean, like against armored foes, Auron is just the best because all of his weapons have piercing. Yeah, if you try really, really hard, you can get out of that. But it has to be something you have to really try to do to get them out of their
really
focus.
made Waka the
I will
fuck you character, didn't we?
We literally just made Waka our
I will say that one of the
Ace in the
things I
hole.
did like about 10 is
Holy
like
shit.
10-2, if you could treat the characters, separate characters, more like a class chain system. If you because they were all available at all times.
That is valid.
But like,
So like, you're fighting someone and all of a sudden you're fighting somewhere and all of a sudden like a Flan and 2 armadillos pop up, but you've got Titus,
Waka and
Yuna out. So you can just decide, okay, well, Yuna's up. Lulu, come back out here.
oh yeah, I love Final Fantasy X's hot swap character system. I think it works really well.
I didn't understand the 10-year-old, but the dog.
But for me personally, like when it comes to role playing games,
That's like my answer to 10 nowadays is, I didn't understand it as a 10, but now I'm an adult and understanding everything. This game's actually pretty good.
But I like in role playing games. I want a small roster of characters and the ability to fuck with them how I want to fuck with them. But as I said, Final Fantasy VIII, the whole fuck with them how you want to fuck with them. Junctioning magic is a stupid way of doing it, but they tried something new. But why do we need 10 characters? Why couldn't it have just been like, what's his fuck, what's her fuck, that other girl, and Jeet Kune Do Boy, and that's just the party you have for the entire game.
that would have been nice.
Jiku Dombo is my favorite character in the entire thing. I fucking forget his name.
Zal,
Zell!
I literally don't remember anything. I don't remember the name of the main character.
Squall.
Squall.
Alright, thank you.
You know, random weather pattern.
The girl starts with an
What's
R.
that?
Random weather
I know.
pattern
Oh,
name.
Yeah.
The other girl is Quistis.
I can't pronounce her name. I call her Q Girl. And then we have Sophie.
Hot for teacher. That's what
Yes.
you call Christmas. Hot for
Okay, so me
teacher.
and Caleb were really weirded out for the first 5 minutes of that show.
Mistress,
that game,
mommy,
because
whatever.
The Q girl
And
was
she uses a
fucking
whip.
like,
Yeah.
oh my
For
god,
God's sakes.
Squall, you have such big muscles. We're like,
It's like,
what?
this bitch is trying to be weird with
We're
the
thinking like
student.
this like 40-year-old girl is just hitting on this like 17-year-old boy.
Nope, she's 2 years older.
And she's only 2 years older.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
well, she's like the
super
whole
smart
time.
and
She's
became
like,
a
"Oh, I'm
teacher.
your teacher."
That's
And then
what
she's
was
like,
better.
she's like flirting with him, and I was like, "This is getting weird." Like,
It's a little better. She's 2 years older.
Yeah.
But considering the power dynamic of teacher-student, it's still kind of fucking
it's
weird.
still weird, yeah.
Yeah, not as weird as a 40-year-old.
It's not as weird as a 40-year-old hitting on a 15-year-old. That is true. You
Like, the moment we found out she's only 2 years older, I'm like, oh, thank God, that's so
It's
much better.
way less
because
cringy.
she then later no longer becomes a teacher.
What works against wolves?
She specifically mentioned
Anything.
how she
Is
there a
never
certain
actually
one that
felt
works
like
as
a
well
teacher.
better?
She never
Not
felt
really.
like-
this game doesn't really have.
I just was really wanting to end this.
Right?
And running is not reliable against wolves.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess that makes sense.
But yeah, she specifically mentioned how she never felt like there
So
was
is the
any
green
other
wolf
teacher
better or the
dynamics
werewolf better?
anything.
The werewolf is the stronger model.
Okay.
They're a little bit stronger, and they have the ability to poison, which is why Mizu
shit.
is currently poisoned
Oh shit.
because of werewolf bit him.
Yeah, so the problem with Final
It pissed
Fantasy...
in my wound and poisoned me.
The problem with Final Fantasy 1 is your ability to run is determined entirely on the agility stat of the character in front.
Yeah.
Which we made the hard hitter.
But you also
Because
need
of
the
course
character
you do,
in front
because he's
to be
also
the...
the one... As
that
the
makes
goes
it
down the line, from top to bottom, the one on top will draw the most aggro.
So you want that to be your tanky character, which means he won't have much.
Which means you won't have any agility.
Computer,
Well,
why do you put the white mage in charge?
Your character will get like high enough agility where you can start dodging a lot of attacks, right?
Yes.
So here, hopefully soon, you'll be able to become the first character.
Maybe?
You just dodge.
It's
attacks.
probably still better to put you because I'll have a higher dodge than you will, but you will have both a higher defense and by a pretty decent margin a higher defense. And I'm pretty sure you get more hit points than I do.
Oh yeah, I'm already like way past you.
Like yeah.
Have we upgraded everybody yet? Like, are you now the?
No, I'm
the
still
master or
I'm still black belt.
Why are monsters striking first today?
We're beeline for that though, because Josh says it's best to get there before level 25.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Or around level 25. I can't remember.
So is the black belt is his thing to get a lot of critical hits, or is it just? Do a
So
lot of
what?
damage.
How? Oh man, what is he? No, he doesn't get critical hits.
Is it
Hypothetically, the thief was supposed to,
Looks
but
like
they
it's
fucked it up. No, I believe what I get when I become a grandmaster is, I'm pretty sure all I get is a boost to my magic defense. Knight fighter becomes knight and gets white magic. Thief becomes ninja and gets black magic. Red, black, and white mages become red, black, and white wizards and gain... Is that when they gain access to the highest level, or do they just get more spell slots? Can a white mage gain holy?
No, they have to get
They
white.
have to-
They have to become white wizards.
And black belts are the ones that don't get magic. What we get is, I think it's a magic defense boost.
Oh, that's cool.
And I think we get a speed boost, which means we hit more often. If you put haste on an unarmed grandmaster, they will fuck shit up. 'Cause they have a high attack because
Yeah.
it's our damage is double our level.
Okay.
So at 50, each blow it'll do 100 damage. So for level like 25, 50 or punches will do 50 minus the defense, but per hit. But if I'm throwing 30, 40 hits,
Yeah.
even if half of them hit, I'm still hitting 15.
DPS
for-
is still higher.
Oh yeah. No, black belts have the highest damage in the game.
Okay, so they're just straight.
Yeah, we just punch things really, really, really hard.
Okay, so the turns in this are based on your agility.
Yes.
You'll get more turns if you have.
You
higher
get more
agility.
turn. Well, you get one turn, but you'll throw more attacks. It's
Okay.
It's like having second attack in Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
That's what That's what they get in 5th edition. What fighters get like a second attack
Yeah,
at a
more
certain
attacks.
level.
Yeah, at 5th level, most of the fighter classes get a second attack. Fighters get a 3rd and 4th attack way later on.
How it worked in 3rd edition was once your base attack bonus hit 6, you got an additional attack, and then every 5 after it's 6, 11, or was it 5, 11?
No, it was 6.
6, 11, 16.
Because you had to have a +1 to get the attack.
Yeah.
On the second one.
Because your next attack was your base attack bonus minus 5.
So it's 6, 11.
So I thought fighters got 5 at level 20.
They do. I know they do. Shoot. You get the first one, and the next one for 6.
That's it. I'm giving a book and verifying.
I love doing that. I love being able to pull out a book and just verify what you think is going to happen. Just so you know, contemplating it is like nice, but just having the ability to just know is nice.
So speaking of D&D, we played D&D with some buddies tonight before we came over. My character is the only character of the original party because for some reason everyone keeps fucking dying. Sorry, the first 2 deaths were honestly a dumb mistake by the players.
Fighter only gets 4.
Huh.
20, 15, 10, and 5.
So, in the original party was a fighter, which was me, a barbarian, a sorceress, and a warlock. A barbarian ran into a group of 6 kobolds without raging.
He said he thought he'd be fine. He was like, I didn't think they could do it. I didn't think they would do that much damage. And I was like, I understand
Hit
that.
him
But
and put him down.
Oof.
And then Kayla, the sorcerer, decided to run over, jump on his dead body, and use a spell, AoE spell, that killed everything around her, honestly. But how it was worded, she thought she could protect him because it comes from her, the center starts at her. So she stood on him so the center would protect him. However, the spell also states every creature within the circle. piece with the circle.
Exactly.
It doesn't affect you, but it affects anyone in your square. It's actually
Wording is everything in tabletop RPG.
it's actually one of the best ways to deal with swarm monsters. Because how swarm monsters deal damage to you is they invade your square.
Yep.
So if you do a burst out from you, you will destroy the swarm monster in your square.
Storm or
Kayla.
anything smaller than tiny or smaller.
Yp.
Kayla,
Did I just wipe out a bunch of specters?
Yes, you
Hell yeah, Dale.
you
Oh, yeah.
turned all the undead.
Turn
well,
Undead is
Kayla was
awesome.
trying to be helpful.
Turn Undead
and
is awesome.
Ended up making him fail one of his death saving throws, and then on his turn he rolled a 1.
I'll be
Which is
100%
two.
honest with you. I wish priests in real life could be more like clerics in games, and I wish we had undead issues.
You want to include fantasy elements.
Yes, I would love to include fantasy elements in
Um,
real life. I feel like that's kind of the point, though.
5th edition did some weird shit with paladins. And we were talking about undead.
All the attendants and everything.
Yeah, 5th edition paladins are fucking weird.
They are.
Devin hates playing them.
I
I
actually
just hate paladins, man.
fuck you. Paladins are the best.
Well, then don't play one, man.
I don't.
They're
Okay.
I actually like what they did with the Sense Evil. They no longer just infinite Sense Evil. They can just do like a burst and sense like various things depending on which type paladin they are. The infinite Sense Evil was kind of, I don't want to say overpowered. It was just very irritating for DMs to deal with.
Like having
I-
a spider sense.
I was told this story of a group of people who the DM got their cousin involved, and he started out as a paladin. And you have to act like sense good or evil. It's not like they walk around and know things.
Mm-hmm.
And without him being prompted or anything, the DM just looked at the paladin, points at the rogue, and says, "You know he's evil." And then from that point on, everyone in the party was just against this rogue.
I'll go ahead. Sorry.
Against this fucking rogue for no reason. They've been playing with him this entire time, and for some reason they were out to get this fucking rogue.
That's not how Detect Evil works. It only gives you if the creature has an evil alignment. Only gives you that if they have an evil aura. High level clerics, demons, outsiders.
He was an assassin who killed for money. That's why he's.
You won't have an evil aura because you don't have a magical aura. What it can also do, depending on the edition, is detect evil intent. If you are sitting in a bar and you're like, I'm waiting for this person to leave so I can jump them when they walk out, depending on which edition you're using, detect evil might detect that. But it will not if you are an assassin and you're just sitting at a bar drinking, just be like, yep, I'm off the clock, just chilling. A detect evil will not detect that. That's not how
Yeah, that's
detect
what they
evil
were
works.
fixing. Well, you see, they went to a dungeon and they basically split the party, and he was by himself and
You don't
like
do
survived
that.
like a fucking boss.
First of all, let's just drop this out here. Dungeons and Dragons alignments are stupid.
Yeah. And then
The hider is plugged in, Court. I'll unplug it before I go to bed.
for some reason, when they divvied up the treasure, they ended up divvying up the treasure he found by himself, including his current equipment. So, while in the dungeon, he ended up getting a super evil poison and sealing a ring from the cleric of the group that made him resistant to poison or something like that, and poisoned the wine to all the party players, and wrote it on the back of a note towards the DM, and told the DM like that he poisoned the wine. And after everyone took a sip, including him, he told the DM to flip it over, and everyone got poisoned, and only 3 people survived the Constitution roll. However, if you survive the Constitution roll, you survive with 1d4 of health. He then promptly killed everyone else barehandedly.
Can we, as D&D players, just stop this PvP shit? You guys are a party. Work together as a party. D&D is a cooperative game.
There was one time where I liked the PvP element, It was because it was a very short one-shot game.
No, there's a difference like that. But if you're doing like a campaign, a 1 to 20 campaign, PvP just doesn't do anything but cause people's hurt feelings.
I agree, but it was a one shot,
This is a good story.
and at the beginning it was Kayla. Kayla was playing a character who was an assassin, and we were talking, and she was like, "I don't really have a reason to be here because I'm an assassin, and you guys are treasure hunting." And I was like, "Well, what if one of the people that you were hired to treasure hunt with is your target?" So I rolled to see who the target was. It was Alec. And they went through the whole campaign. They went through the whole dungeon. Got done with it. And at the very end, as everybody else was walking away, she stabbed him in the back. And he just died because he had very little health because it was the very end and he was a warlock.
Yeah.
He was an Hexblade warlock, so he was
Well, that
like
was his fault. Was he's playing a warlock.
Yeah.
Only bitches play
What's your role? I
warlocks.
thought he was a fighter.
No, he was a Hexblade warlock.
Oh,
He
shit.
just played it like a fighter.
Only bitches play warlocks. Fight me.
Well, we had 4 deaths so far in the campaign, and we just beat chapter 1. Like I said, the barbarian got killed because he ran into a group of kobolds without raging like an idiot. It was his first barbarian. I'll give him that. However, he's an idiot. The second death was Kayla with her sorcerer because she was an idiot.
Troll face.
We had to get out of this tunnel that we were ambushed from.
I have to break this story up real quick. Josh just fought a troll, and he handled the troll exactly the way you handle trolls. Don't engage, just walk away.
To be fair,
Fuck this shit up,
a
man.
fight with the surprise giants in there wrecked us up really bad. I probably should actually leave. But
Yeah, exactly. When a troll comes, just leave. Don't.
I was talking about
Don't
a
engage.
fight with the giants,
I know.
not.
I was making an internet joke.
Yeah. So many people have forgotten the rule of don't feed the trolls. That's because one day they looked into the mirror and realized they are the trolls.
So, anyway, so we had to stop this ambush, and as a Triton, I'm able to cast Fog Cloud once a day. So I'm like, alright, everyone, we had 2 cloaks and 2 people. I'm like, alright, put your cloaks on, I'm going to cast Fog Cloud, I'm going to run out there, get their attention on me, and then you join the crowd and kill them one by one in the Fog Cloud, and make sure no one else can see you and kill them. 'Cause
Hi, Dogecoin.
you can only see 5 feet in front of you in the fog cloud.
Obscuring mist.
And so I do that, and Kayla immediately goes, "Cool, fog cloud's out," and runs ahead of me, and gets seen in the fog cloud. So immediately gets engaged by this cultist. So I have to run out and help her by killing everything else around her, and just how the dice rolled. She's a sorceress, and the cultist,
Wizard ogres.
The cultist.
Oh.
God.
Oh God! What?
They're wizarders.
They
They're
pee a
like
lot.
ogres.
They pee a lot.
They're like ogres, except they'll both hit you in the head with a club and burn your ass with a fireball.
How about no? So just how the dice having Kayla's sorceress died. So then she made a cleric like she said she wouldn't. And Alec made a rogue. Well, today we started in a fight trying to save people in this temple. And the first fight went fine. We wiped him out. The second fight we decided to ambush this crowd of people that are walking around the temple so we can have a safe route to save everyone. Well, 2 ambush drakes, 3 cultists, and 10 kobolds roam up. And I was hiding away because I couldn't hide. I was going to just like try to not fuck it up and just like.
Devin was like, my stealth is going to be being nowhere near the area.
Well,
What was that, silver
apparently
what?
me
Silver
not being
shield.
next to them
Silver
was a
shield.
bad idea because the kobolds knocked all 3 players down. That's a rogue that got down,
Okay,
the
that's
warlock got
okay.
down, and the cleric got down. By kobolds just slinging rocks at them. I'm in the woods taking pot shots with my crossbow.
Absorb is 30, fade 30.
So, Kayla fails her first roll.
Maple, what are you doing? Sorry, give me a minute. What are you getting into?
So are we
Yeah,
clean the
absorb-
dungeon?
Absorb went up by 34. Yeah, I was trying to see if I could find a way to the Lich's chamber. First.
Is he okay?
Instead, I found the treasure chamber,
Oh.
which is a lot better because I actually picked up that silver shield for Devin.
Silver shield
So
helping
let's get the heck out of here. Monster strike for oh god.
Sorry guys, I had to walk away because our dog was getting in the trash. Oh.
There's a giant in Monster Strike First. What was with Monster Strike First all friggin' session?
So, our cleric failed her first turn, and then on her next turn rolled a nat 1, which is 2 fails. 3 fails you did.
Yeah.
So our cleric just dies right off the bat. And then, at this current time, I am taking pot shots at the cultists, trying to make sure they don't coup de grace them, trying to draw them away from them. And that technically, they can't find me. So I was able to kill, and almost kill I killed 2 cultists, and I had to deal with 1 cultist and the ambush drake. And I was able to kill the other ambush drake as well.
You were playing a ranger?
No, I'm a fighter with a crossbow.
Fighter crossbow, okay.
And it's not my best hitting weapon, but I mean, 80 feet away, there's 4 of them coming at me now that I don't have to deal with 2 wet close up. That's better than 4. I was kiting them.
Were you running a ranger, a ranged fighter, ranged specialty?
No,
No.
his fighter just had a crossbow.
Oh, so you were just staying away from the cultists.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was just standing back. So
1 versus 4, Ian. 1 versus 4. I meant 1 versus 2 and survived.
No, I get it.
I didn't go down that fight.
I understand completely.
Our warlock the entire time when she was down with just rolled 3 fails in a row and just died.
The dice just said no.
Yeah, the dice said fuck you. The rogue, on the other hand, he succeeded
Dead.
and they rolled a nat 20. They then said, alright, so can I use bonus action high real quick? And we're like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Roll a
We're
nat
dead.
20.
Dead.
We're probably dead.
So, why?
Fuck.
Because we're getting attacked by a bunch of wizards.
And we can't run
We're
from
already
them.
low as fuck.
Well, fuck.
Josh is down. You're down to 100 health.
No.
Ian's down to 30. Ian the Dale brought down to 30.
Dale's done.
Holy crap. Oh,
Yeah,
great.
wizards! Fuck you, wizards!
Why was you so powerful?
I don't
Because
know.
this is Dungeons and Dragons and Wizards are OP. So, I said I was going to talk about this on camera, and this is going to be the thing that gets all of our viewers mad at us.
Oh
The
god.
most controversial thing anyone's ever said, which is Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition is okay. It's fine. When I don't care for 3rd edition, but when somebody's on 4th edition, when somebody's like, I like 4th edition, I'm not like, why would you like 4th edition? I love the arguments like, oh, these fighters and their anime fight match. I'm like, what's wrong with anime fight magic? Anime's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, my personal view on it is
Critical hit. Mizu's down.
God damn.
AD&D
Damn.
and OD&D are not fun.
Ian, get out of there. Oh well, fuck.
They're
Mainly solely for a purpose of this right here.
Party perished.
Of just TPKs left and right.
God damn.
I mean, yeah.
God damn.
Yeah,
Josh got a low
reload.
save state.
I do. Because I didn't use traditional.
What level are we? Holy shit.
We were level 11 at the time. We're back to 10 where we started at the beginning of the session
Yeah.
because we died.
Shit.
That happens.
We'll live.
But you know, and
We
I
died, but we'll live.
I don't have it. Well, save states. We came back.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with the older editions of Dungeons and Dragons. But yeah, I completely understand why you wouldn't like first and second edition.
You
'cause they
gotta
are-
change your mindset to do first and second, because they're meat grinders.
I mean, yeah, and
Well, honestly, I would love to play Strahd in second edition. I want to see. I've been hyped up with how hard that is. I want to see how hard it is.
but
Ravenloft. Oh god.
I mean, we beat Strahd in 5th edition.
If
Michaela
we
kind
can
of
get-
made it easy.
if we as a group can get through second edition and actually settle down with it, Second edition has a lot of awesome third-party campaigns in it.
Yes, it does.
Planescape. Planescape is. I've heard great things about Planescape. I've
I
heard.
mean, you
there
guys
are
got to like
numerous-
level 9, right? In the second.
I don't
campaign?
remember what exactly level you guys were when you guys TPK'd.
I just know you guys survived for 2 years in AD&D.
I mean, it's not as brutal maybe as I'm making it out to be. It certainly is way, way less survivable than 3rd, 4th, and 5th edition.
Absolutely.
5th edition, 5th edition's like 4th edition especially, man. 4th edition just coddled the players. Well, one of my biggest issues with the 4th edition is this: characters got so many hit points and couldn't do damage to each other. If you were in about 10th level, you would have one fight and it would go on for like an hour because nobody could do damage to each other. I mean, you could, but like, you got 110 hit points and you're doing 15 points of damage with your hits. I mean, yeah, fights go on forever in 4th edition. I'm sure someone out there who played 4th edition is going to tell me no, I've played 3 different 4th edition campaigns, and fighting is a slog to get through in 4th edition. It just is. Now, like I said, 4th edition's a salvageable game. First of all, throw the classes away. Defender, striker, controller, leader. Those, you pick from those. And, it's like, well, I want to play a fighter. Okay, you pick defender. Now you pick these abilities, and your power source is martial. There you go. I built you a fighter. I don't need a whole separate class of fighter that's just identical to a barbarian, except not barbarian, warden, whatever the fuck the primal one is. Their fucking strikers are all identical. Well, this is my hunter's query, and this is my mark, but it's the same thing. They're identical. Why differentiate? Well, the reason is so they can sell 50 supplemental books where it's like, aha, these are the primal classes. We just sold you 4 identical classes.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
Also, I fucking hate, and this is something 5th edition's done. 3rd edition kind of bad about it. Pathfinder fixed it. It's like, these are the skills you're allowed to pick. But what if I want a skill that's not on this list? Too bad! You don't get proficiency in diplomacy because you're a wizard. But what if I want my wizard to be diplomatic? That's not how we decided wizards are.
Pick your background with diplomacy.
Or, just let me pick 5 skills. Just let me pick 5 skills I want. And yes, I know you can house rule all that shit, but rules is written. Fuck you, game.
Fuck you, game.
So here's the plan. We're clearly not powerful enough to deal with that level of the thing. So we're gonna grind a bit.
Oh gosh.
Grind.
Don't even say the word grinding here right now.
And basically, as soon as I get to town, maybe do a little shopping, I'm going to be calling it quits because we're starting to run out of juice.
Alright.
Nah, we'll be fine.
Ranking D&D editions. Fuck. Man, it's hard.
I feel like Pathfinder and 5th edition are like on the top number 1 slot for me.
I'm just going to do
They-
5 core editions of D&D. Because I was going to say 3rd edition, but frankly, 3rd edition's garbage. Pathfinder's way better.
Depends on what part of 3rd. If you count 30, if you count 3rd edition or 3.5.
Yeah. 3.5 is better, but it's still not great. Pathfinder's just the...
Pathfinder is just the best. There's a reason people call it 3.75.
Because it's just the best.
It is
version
the
of
best.
3.5.
Pathfinder first edition specifically.
I
Yes.
keep forgetting that Pathfinder 2nd, sorry,
There you go.
is technically not D&D.
No.
There's also Starfinder, which is Pathfinder.
I'm
in
not talking
space.
about the Starfinder and Starjammer. Man, I don't know, because there's a beauty in the simplicity of OD&D.
Yeah.
I've never played OD&D, so I can't rate OD&D.
OD&D, you could put like your entire character sheet on an index card, realistically.
Yeah, some of us did.
You had 6 stats. They actually talked about in OD&D, people used to take the entire OD&D game and put it on their backpacks when they went on like scout camping trips. Because you could just, you could fit everything you needed in this size of a... Like, one of the things I actually like about OD&D, and it's something I hate about modern editions of D&D and wish they get rid of, weapons. Because the problem is, okay, so you're playing D&D, you're a one-handed fighter, you're going to use a longsword. Why? Because it's just the best. It's just better than any other option. You use a two-handed weapon, you're using a greatsword. Why? Because it's just... And yeah, there's those... weird edge builds, but realistically, you're going to use a longsword or a greatsword because they're the best. OD&D, damage is based on class. Fighters and dwarfs just had the highest damage. What weapon did you use? What weapon do you want to use? Who fucking cares? You can use a fucking greatsword, you can use a battle axe, you can use a fucking volleyball for all the game cares.
Yeah.
Waka.
Yes. I like that.
From OD&D.
I mean, I wouldn't mind that. That does sound pretty fun.
I like that because, like, you have these lists, these giant lists of 80 weapons, and there's only 5 or 6 of them that are even worth looking at. What's the, like, realistically, especially now, what's the point of a short sword? It serves zero purpose.
Yeah.
Back in, like, AD&D and to a lesser extent, 3rd edition, thieves used short swords because they couldn't use a long sword.
Yeah. Well, the short sword in 5th edition it's finesse and light, so you can dual wield with it.
Okay,
Without
but can
having
you do the
a
same with the
stiff feet.
rapier?
No, because the rapier isn't light. It's finesse, but it's not
Rapier's
light.
not light? Oh.
You have to have a feat in order to use the rapier.
Apparently, they fixed the problem.
A little bit. There's still just...
There are still weapons that are just better
Just
than all
better.
other weapons.
Like in Pathfinder...
Like there are some weapons that are just useless, like the sickle. Nobody ever uses the
No,
fucking
it's just
sickle.
because it's a fucking useless weapon. Well, like in Pathfinder 1st edition, the Bastard Sword is useless. It is 100% useless. Because, so a Bastard Sword can be, is two-handed weapon. It's a 1d10 weapon, you can use it two-handed. You can take a feat to use it one-handed. The Longsword can be used one-hand, does 1d8, so one little less damage, but it can be used one-handed or two-handed without the use of a feat.
Yeah.
So instead of taking exotic weapon proficiency Bastard Sword, to use it one-handed, use a longsword, take weapon focus, or weapon specialization, increases the damage by 2, and it already does on average more damage than that Bastard Sword. And you all had to burn 1 feat extra to get to that damage rating. And the difference in damage between a D8 and a D10 is negligible.
Yeah.
It's 1 damage, it's negligible. You're going to burn a feat up to do 1 extra damage. You can do that with better feats that also are prereqs for further down the line feats.
I agree.
You guys say the sickle sucks. However, I want to point out Solstice made that sickle everyone.
Nuts. I'm
That's
That was a
side.
scythe. That was
That's
a
a scythe?
Side.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're talking about a hand sickle.
Yeah, no, I
This is
remember wrong. I
awful.
could have sworn it was a sickle.
No, it was
No.
a scythe.
Still, he made everyone his bitch with that side.
Grim Reaper style.
Isn't the scythe have like a really bad negative to it in Pathfinder?
No,
It
it's
doesn't-
epic rec.
It's-
Exotic.
It
It does 2d4 damage, I believe.
It does shit damage, however.
Power has a ×4 critical multiplier.
Yeah,
That's what it
times four
is.
crit.
Okay, yeah. They say it had low damage
Yeah, it's
on average, but
it's
if you
2d4
crit with it,
because
it's crazy. Okay.
The dice are 1 less than great, so the great sword is
However,
2d6.
Sean got pretty good.
Though, realistically,
With
that
half
character
of it.
probably would have been even more crazy if he used a more traditional weapon.
Yep.
Like a great axe or a great sword.
Yep. But what Sean did
But it would
was,
have been as fun.
No, it wouldn't have been as fun.
No. Because what Sean did was he was find something that was interesting and build around that.
Yeah.
Like he found
I like Solstice.
I like
he found
Solstice
the scythe has ×4 critical,
I also enjoy Solstice's brother, but I forget his name.
which I
Not,
think he
not
actually,
brother, but the rival, Equinox.
Yeah.
Critical hit. Fuck yeah, 190 damage.
I think Sean actually found that out because of a joke said about someone saying, "I'm gonna
Sharks
get a
ain't shit."
Vorpal scythe."
Yeah.
Oh god.
Vorpal, for those of you who don't know,
Means when you
is a
crit, you don't
special
have to-
effect that you can add to melee slashing weapons. With a Vorpal weapon, whenever a weapon crits, and you confirm the crit.
Nat 20. It has to specifically be on a natural 20.
Well,
That ruins the joke, though.
No, it doesn't ruin this joke.
The scythe only crits on a nat 20.
Yep.
So whenever you nat 20 on a scythe on a Vorpal weapon, it beheads the enemy automatically, automatically killing them.
That was a cat.
I repeat,
Meow.
whenever the scythe crits, it automatically kills whatever it hits.
Yep.
The scythe has a ×4 critical,
Which is the big thing.
which
that
is the
when
only
you
point
crit-
to it.
Yeah.
The only point to it is that it does a fuck ton more damage when it crits. So a Vorpal scythe just automatically kills things.
Yeah.
Well, so does a damn Vorpal longsword. So does a damn Vorpal rapier.
Dagger.
You can't
we
Vorpal
can't go with
rapier.
the rapier because it has to be a slashing
Slashing.
weapon.
You could do it with a dagger, but
You can do it with a dagger longsword.
Daggers do slashing?
What?
Daggers do slashing?
Piercing?
slashing or piercing.
Oh, they do both?
Yes.
Oh,
Pathfinder.
shit.
I think in fifth
You have
edition there's
to,
a
technically
piercing.
you would have to choose, but most of the time it's worthless.
Oh, okay.
Damage types and that damage, slashing, piercing, and
Bludgeoning.
bludgeoning damage are kind of pointless anymore. Honestly, they
Yeah.
don't need to be even incorporated.
They were pointless in Pathfinder. For the most part.
I wanted to
There
like.
weren't enough enemies that.
Well, and okay, so
Yeah.
this is another a 4th edition argument of the Warlord class, which can heal. And people argue you can't shout a hand back on. But hit points aren't meat.
No.
They are meat, but they're not just meat. It's
I
fighting
heard-
spirit, it's fatigue.
I-
it's-
But yeah,
I
it's
heard
your-
the best.
your-
I heard the best house ruling argument for what hit points are. It was like hit points are not actual damage as much as it is your energy to be able to avoid a fatal hit.
yes.
And when you run
yeah.
out of it,
So-
you didn't avoid the fatal hit.
I think of it as like your will to keep fighting.
That's what that was the thing with the
Adrenaline
Warlord was.
and-
The Cleric used magic to bolster your spirits. The Warlord was like drill sergeanting you. Come on, get your fucking ass back in the game. You can do it. Yeah. It's like yeah, I'm gonna ignore the superficial wounds and aching bones to. But
Keep fighting.
so if that's the argument of then what does it matter if it does slashing, piercing, or bludgeoning damage if you're not just
Freaking
cutting pieces
bear.
of meat off. If it is
There's
just
way too much poison down there.
Yeah.
things in my armor and so like I understand things like hot damage, cold damage, electric
Yeah,
damage,
yeah.
But like
Elemental damages and stuff.
physical
yeah.
damage should just be physical damage.
I wanted to think of tables for weapons being able to do multiple kinds of damage and certain armors being better against certain types of damage.
So a number of games have
But I feel like
done-
that's going to be over. Yeah, I feel like it's
A number of
it's
games-
been done and it
yeah.
would just overcomplicate things.
And generally speaking, a lot of players don't like every time you roll in combat have to referencing 6 tables.
Yeah.
It just bogs the game down. So you have the argument verisimilitude versus efficiency. Yeah, and some people like that.
I think it should just be physical damage.
Yeah.
Like there's physical damage and then there's elemental damage
Yeah.
and then
Psychic damage, whatever.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want a bunch of realism in these games because one, reality sucks, and 2, just making things so real. Because like there are games that are modernish, and they'll literally have tables for bullet drop off at range.
I don't like
Oh
that.
my gosh, why?
That's one of the
Well,
things the
yeah,
Fallout
what
had.
the
The
hell
Fallout
is that?
game we had. It was like you could you could have a sniper rifle and everything, but then you could have a scope on it, and you would have like the weapon would be capable of all these different things, but your perception was just barely not high enough to see far enough away for the sniper to even fucking matter.
So,
And I was like,
I've made this comment about GURPS. In GURPS, there's a skill for mathematics. There's a skill for finances. there's a skill for stock markets. There's a skill for accounting. Yes, okay. And even if you want to separate accounting and mathematics, I wouldn't personally, but yes, studying stocks and doing accounting are different skills. They're not so different that I need them separate. There is a skill in GURPS for dropping.
Yeah.
Do you know what the dropping skill's for?
Dropping things? Literally dropping things on the ground?
Specifically, it is an attack rule used to fly over someone and drop something on top of them.
Oh god, okay.
Now,
Why
mind
is
you,
that so specific?
right? Now, mind you, this is different than the artillery skill, which is used for like launching boulders from catapults.
I mean, that's still
It
still
is,
super
but
specific.
like, oh my gosh, like it is. I would just make it a
I
range.
feel like mathematics should be that skill also.
Yeah, but like, oh my gosh, it's just like I don't need this. I don't need this many. And there's like a separate skill for how good you are in bed versus how good you are at seducing people. Which once again, I know technically those are two different skills, but come
You can just lump them
on.
together and make things much easier.
Oh, start merging some of these fucking skills.
There was even somebody who was talking about. I told Devin about this earlier. They were like, if you wanted to, you could even subsidize the abilities in like Dungeons and Dragons now into like there's 6 of them right now. You could turn it into 3.
Oh yeah, no.
Muscle, mind, and they called it Moxie, which was muscle was your strength and dex,
So
mind was your wisdom and intelligence, and Moxie was your constitution and charisma.
personally, I think Dungeons and Dragons needs one additional skill. I think you gotta split dexterity in half. It is
I
just
agree.
too powerful. You need coordination and agility. Dexterity is just
I agree with
too
that.
powerful of a skill.
That's kind of why I like special in Fallout,
Special's great.
because it does
Special's
separate
great.
those.
It is a great setup.
Well, I think Dragon Quest did dexterity and deafness.
Later editions did. The original one, it was strength, resilience, agility, and wisdom. Those were your only skills you had, stats you had in the early games. But they have separated them, and it is different in a video game where you can just like fuck around with them. But like in D&D specifically, dexterity is just too powerful. It needs split in half. So
Having a
split
high
that in
dexterity
half
is pretty much
and stop
needed.
splitting charisma in half.
Yes.
Because so many people are like, well, you need personality and comeliness. No, you don't. You don't fucking need... I don't need to know...
Some people's replacement for personality is comeliness.
Well, the argument is, well, there are himbros that are super attractive but have no ability to deal with people. There are people who aren't very attractive but just have a magnetic person.
It's because like your attractiveness is just based on cosmetics. It doesn't matter.
Okay, but like... I don't need them separated.
Yeah.
Charisma's enough. I have an 18 charisma and an 8 intelligence. My character is super pretty, but can't hold a conversation to save his life. Or my character with an 18 charisma and a 17 intelligence, and maybe like an 8 dexterity and an 8 strength. Yeah, he's a scrawny little dude, but when he talks, everybody listens. You can use the stats to interact with each other.
I just always play it where
And,
like your character's attractiveness has nothing to do with their charisma. Like your character could be super attractive, and if that's what an NPC or another character is looking for, just attractiveness, sure, walk over and start talking to them. And then when you realize they can't talk for shit, then maybe you can judge them on that also.
Now, it was a running joke, and it was entirely a joke. When we would play with my friend Mike, when we would encounter a character, we'd always ask him, how attractive are they on a scale from about 3 to 18? It was just a running joke.
That's funny.
But, yeah, it was... But
So yeah,
if you have, like, a 16 charisma, let the player decide, is it entirely physical? Or how much of that is physical versus personality? And let the player decide and roleplay it.
I think you can have a butt ugly character. Like if you just decide to make your character some like full-blooded orc with just a jacked face and giant misshapen tusks, and he has an 18 charisma. Obviously, he has a commanding presence. That's just what it is.
I mean, look at how many presidents of the United States we've had, and look at how many of them are lookers. I'm just saying.
Look at Adolf Hitler. He was no looker, but he mesmerized the whole nation.
And that's just it. And then there are people who are attractive, but have absolutely no ability to command emotions.
And with that, we're going to have to say goodbye
No,
for now.
I'm not done bitching about TTRPGs.
Sorry, we don't have the power.
No.
Do it offline.
Damn.
But anyway, well, I'll just have to bitch more about TTRPGs next week.
Yes.
As always.
You alright?
No.
See ya.
Signing off.
Alright.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Falling slick.
Bye.